This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Thank you, David. Welcome to DBL, everyone. It's Thursday, September 2nd. I'm Tori here with Al and Erica. We're glad to have you with us. Let's get started. As you may have seen, Ida has dumped a historic amount of rain in the Northeast. In New York City, subways and transit were shut down across the city as floodwaters came pouring into stations. Look at this footage. Streets across the region were also flooded as the rain fell, setting new records. Some cars were almost completely submerged by the storm. Now, the storm stranded some drivers, and the New York Fire Department and other agencies helped with the rescue efforts. They are all heroes. And for many people, the flood submerged their homes as well. Some even needed to be rescued from the rooftop. Is this new normal, Erica? Is this what we're going to see every year?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just know that that's just heartbreaking, and a lot of people do not have flood insurance. There's a lot of
especially in New York,
right? And that feels criminal.
Yeah.
Especially in light of the fact that this happens multiple times every year, where people lose everything that they own and they have no recourse for it.
Yeah.
We really need to look at the system as much as we're talking about climate change to make sure that people who have insurance for everything else can at least insure what is now inevitable.
Yeah, which is now the new normal. Interesting. All right, let us know if you are near those areas. If you can let us know how you're doing. We are thinking of you, DBL. Thoughts and prayers. We are just... It is awful, the footage, and we are with you. Well, mega podcast star Joe Rogan has revealed he got COVID. He posted an update about it on Instagram. Let's check it out.
And turns out I got COVID. So we immediately threw the kitchen sink at it. All kinds of meds, monoclonal antibodies, ivermectin, Z-Pak, prednisone, everything. Here we are on Wednesday, and I feel great.
One of the drugs Joe mentioned he was taking was ivermectin. Now, that is an unproven drug used to treat parasites in, get this, livestock. The FDA has warned people not to take it, tweeting, "You are not a horse. You are not a cow. Seriously, y'all, stop it." Earlier this year, Joe spoke out against the COVID vaccine, telling his younger listeners not to get it, which is, and I want to make this clear, against the recommendation of actual doctors and disease experts. All right, let's talk Joe Rogan. Let's just go out there. He's like kind of a comic frat guy that has become a huge listening point for millions of people, especially males. What do you think about Joe Rogan as a comic and as this new power source?
I mean, I don't know about power source, but information source, Erica?
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anybody more powerful, even the president, in terms of the people that listen to him. You have to remember with podcasts, it's different than Anthony Fauci or somebody, or even us speaking for a half an hour, you on your podcast, talking with Lindsay for an hour. That's cool. We're talking about people that talk into other people's ears for 4 hours a day for years on end. Their voice is more powerful than their spouses, than their kids, than their boss. And this is why, man, when I looked at this story this morning, I was like, I look back early in my career when I was in my 20s, and I wish I'd had some of, I did my first gigs with a paper road map. I didn't have even GPS. That's how long ago I started comedy. But I'm glad I didn't have podcasts, and I didn't have somebody guiding me. I'm glad I got a chance to kind of figure it out on my own, because now what Joe Rogan said, because when you get sick, Erica, can you go get monoclonal antibodies? Can some homeless guy get it? Because that's what all the rich people go do. And that's why they're like, I feel great. I bet you do, bro.
Yeah.
They gave you the Superman juice.
Yeah, it's such a big responsibility and to have a platform. And I think that people really have to be careful how they're using it. But I'm at the point now, and I know that it's not the popular thing to say, especially for people who are like, you have to get the vaccine, you have to get the vaccine. People have their information. They're getting their information from whatever source they deem credible. Me saying you should go out and get the vaccine to some people is interpreted as, well, I definitely will not do it now because I don't like that woman. I don't believe she knows what she's talking about. And therefore, I'm going to do the exact opposite of anything that she says.
I shouldn't have sent that tweet. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know, Al. You started it. So, but at the end of the day, that's what it is. Everybody has decided, and it's crazy now because We are so fragmented.
Yeah.
Remember when everybody was so concerned about the disconnect between Republicans and Democrats? Well, now we have the disconnect between a Republican and Democrat, but then this Democrat believes in the vaccine and this Democrat doesn't believe in the vaccine. This Democrat thinks that this, it's like, so you have all of these subsets of people and they're creating echo chambers, and everyone is listening to the people that they feel they are most connected with. And that's what it is. For me, I like to listen to both sides. I want to understand. I watched Get Me Roger Stone twice, back to back.
I love that.
Because I wanted to have an understanding of what this was all about, even though I wasn't the demographic for it.
Sure.
But some people just want to hear what they want to hear, and that's how they make decisions. And what are we supposed to do?
Yeah.
What are you supposed to do? Talk it to death?
Yeah.
Go and physically make people do things?
Well, that's interesting. And again, Joe Rogan's not a doctor or a healthcare worker. He was the host of Fear
He's more
Factor.
important than those people you just listed.
Yes.
To his listeners, much more.
Very true, but I just want to make sure people know the facts. He's not a doctor or anyone in the healthcare industry at all, and he said that. All right, we're possibly seeing a new version of the Karen video, as they are popularly known. Check this out. It's a husband. He's seen fighting with his wife, trying now to stop her in real time to allegedly stop harassing a black couple. Now, we're not entirely sure what happened before this, but we have this video. We want you to watch it and tell us what you think on the flip side.
You don't know him. You don't know her. You get in the car.
Get in the car, Aaron.
You do not know him. You do not know her. You are not special. Get your stupid. No, he is not. Why? Because he's driving you in. Hey, I'm sorry, y'all.
Interesting. These are evolving now. The Karen
They
video.
are evolving
We're in stage 2 now of like, wait, this is going to go viral. We're already seeing the consequences in real time.
Right, now full disclosure, I showed this to you guys. And Erica, what did you say when you first saw this?
I don't remember.
But, I want to put you on the spot like that, but we were just saying we are seeing this evolve, and we're also seeing men that have been put in a position where
because he don't want that smoke.
Right, we saw that at the football game when the woman started a fight with a man. He moved her to the side and knocked her husband unconscious. So I think a lot of people are saying, don't start something that I'm going to have to finish. And also, can we not be on the internet because I have a job?
Well, and also it tells you, I don't know what their relationship was, Aaron and the girl and the guy.
I think that was her husband.
It's like, husband, boyfriend, partner. But now he's looking at her like, is this who you are? Because that's not who I am. And people have to understand, when you're in a relationship, like, you reflect each other. If you out here acting goofy, that reflects bad on me, and vice versa.
Yeah.
Very, very true. All right. Write us in what you think so far. Coming up on DBL. And
Get in the car, Aaron.
Get in the car, Aaron. Get in the car, Aaron.
How is that not a t-shirt?
It's great. We should make it. An inside look at the drug epidemic in a small Arkansas town. This is incredible how a new program is turning the tables on the justice system to fight addiction. And Dog the Bounty Hunter, addresses racism allegations. Why his own daughter is not on his side. That's coming up next.
Closed captioning provided by
Hey, wanted to know you guys' response to the evolving Karen videos.
Yeah, get in the MF car, Aaron, says Marquita Baker.
Yeah.
Also, Just Me wrote, read Joe Rogan and other defiers and deniers. What goes around comes around. I call it COVID karma. The term is not copyrighted, so feel free to use it in tweets. But he's right, Al's right. He's rich. He gets access to those things that are reserved to the highest, most ill cases. He's not supposed to get those, but if you have access, and we know if you're rich, you get access, of course he's going to be feeling better, like Al said. Not everybody gets steroids and this and that and this and that.
Luckily for me, I was pre-med, so I'm friends with a lot of doctors. I did my show in Cleveland this weekend. My buddy Quay, who you've met, the doctor with the dreads. Quay's awesome. He was, I was talking to him, and he was like, I was like, what is it with monoclonal antibodies? And he was like, those just go straight.
Is it one story?
Focus right on the COVID in there. But it's very expensive treatment
and we're
to
not
get.
interviewing Kevin.
And I remember first reading about not even with Trump, but with the Republican governor of Texas. He got it. And so like that just started, I started seeing that when we were talking about rich people. And as soon as I heard that thing with Joe Rogan, that was the first thing I heard. Because you notice he listed a lot of stuff, but monoclonal antibodies is definitely on there.
That's like Regeneron. That stuff is expensive.
Yes, it's expensive, and it's not for us regular folks. But the regular folks are who are listening to you, and like they think, and it's weird, Erica, because I'm sure I've met Joe Rogan. I worked with him once, him and Charlie Murphy early in my career. He seems like a good guy, a genuine guy. But I'm sure that you, and I know for myself, have given advice genuinely that I thought I was helping somebody, but I was misinformed. And I gave it to one person. Imagine if that went out to a podcast of 100,000 and you're like, you know, you told somebody to do something that was potentially life-threatening.
Well, I think a big part of it too is like, you know, sometimes people are so disconnected, even though they perceive themselves to be connected, that probably doesn't even run through his mind like, oh, yeah, it was very easy for me, but he's not in the shoes of the other people who are listening. By the time that they learn about it, it's too late.
Joe been famous. Joe been rich for a long time.
Welcome back to DBL. Dog the Bounty Hunter has been in the news a lot lately, and now he's sitting down with ET's Kevin Frazier to talk about his daughter's claims that he was a racist. Here's what Dog had to say about his use of the N-word. Take a look.
You were using language, and over 6 times during that call, you used the N-word.
Yes, sir.
Why were you using that word so freely?
Well, I thought I had a pass in the black tribe to use it, kind of like Eminem. My pass expired for using it, but no one told me that. To say a racist name doesn't qualify to make you a racist.
If you use that word, use that word and you use it in your regular everyday life, it makes you a racist.
I have more black friends than Eminem.
Okay,
I feel like not only does he know one black person, but he knows one white person. He just keeps going Eminem. He was talking about the N-word like it's your registration. Like, oh, it's expired. I'm sorry, officer. What a weird...
What a bizarre thing to say. What do you think, Erica?
I don't know why this man keeps popping up. I really don't.
He's popular,
I really don't. I like the way that he addressed the black woman that his son was dating. That's all I need to know. Anytime that I've had, even here, it's like when Dog the Bounty Hunter come, like I cannot be here that day.
Wow.
Like I don't wish to be. Why?
Why give him airtime even?
Why?
Look, he's just again another one of those. How are you here, sir? He went to jail for basically murder. He was the getaway driver in a marijuana deal where somebody was killed. He then comes out, he has this show, and he gets this newfound popularity. He's then caught using the N-word. He's then allowed to come back. And then on the interview that's supposed to be his mea culpa, he's like, yeah, I talked to some guys in jail in the 70s. They said it's cool.
And no one told me my black card was revoked.
Yes,
like, what was
his
that
N-word
about?
pass. So there is no such thing. Don't let Dog get you in trouble. That pass doesn't exist.
There's no pass?
No. And I believe that some people think like, oh, I grew up here and I can use. It's like, look, everybody didn't grow up around you. Maybe your friends are cool with it, but if you throw that word out there, you need to know that there might be some consequences and repercussions. It might not necessarily be physical, Erica. It might be your job, might be your reputation, but people don't want to hear that. There's no good place for that.
Do you have a reason why he hasn't been canceled? Like why he keeps getting it? Is it because people, just like Joe Rogan, find him someone they want to listen to? Like why isn't he canceled? Or is he canceled now?
I don't think he's canceled. Erica, are you not even going to speak on it? Look,
I have no investment in the. Honestly, just the mere fact of talking about him makes me feel like I'm diminishing myself.
Good for you.
Like
I hear
I'm not putting myself in that situation.
Good for you. We'll get out of here. Coming up on DBL. No, we're getting out of here.
I'm out?
Yeah, you're out. Saving a community devastated by addiction. How a program behind bars
Can I
could
stay?
help. You can stay now.
Okay.
How one small Arkansas town overcomes its drug epidemic. Stay tuned for that.
Pandemic unemployment benefits are coming to an end, but will that lead to more people in the workforce? Let's connect the dots. The extra $300 on weekly unemployment checks ends this Saturday. Many companies are still struggling to hire new employees. Officials hope slashing those benefits will push more people back into the workforce, but so far that hasn't been the case. 26 states, including South Carolina, have already ended unemployment benefits. While they did see a slight uptick in new hires, researchers from Harvard and Columbia say it was not the boom they were expecting. In fact, 7 out of 8 people who lost their benefits did not find work. And slashing those benefits early may have hurt local economies. Without that extra boost, unemployed workers simply spent less money. Experts are still trying to figure out why people aren't getting back to work, but they say the $300 checks are a very small part of the big picture. And that's connecting the dots.
I've watched addiction take over our community like wildfire.
Get on the ground. I got some meth. There's a gun in here, too.
Deputies going on the same calls to the same families with the same problems over and over and over. What we were doing wasn't working. We had to do something different.
Something different. Welcome back to DBL. A plague of meth and opioids has invaded a small town in Arkansas, but a new rehab program is hoping to turn the tide. It gives drug users 2 options, prison or freedom. Earlier, we spoke with one of the program's creators, Chris Walcott. That's today's DBL Spotlight.
Chris, welcome to DBL.
I'm happy to be here.
Well, we're happy to have you because you're doing such amazing things. Let's kick it right off because you've been in law enforcement since you were in your 20s, even taking a job as a jail administrator. So why did you want to give people in your town an alternative to prison?
Because the things that we had been doing for 20 years wasn't working, and the people who were going to prison and coming back were just doing repeat offenders, and they were coming back into the jail again.
I got a lot to lose. One wrong move, it could be the end.
I've often wondered, why certain drugs are prevalent in certain communities. Why are meth and opioids the drug of choice in your community?
Because they're cheap, and when you start getting rid of one drug, there's always something that's going to fill the vacuum. We'll never win the war on drugs. That's not going to happen.
You're here to get to the root of your addictions.
You know, I love that your program is more than just a slogan. It's actual actions behind it, and people can take tangible steps. So those folks are your participants. You call them trustees, and you demand a lot of them. So what are some of the things that you require of them?
Well, they're required to go to all non-faith-based programs while they're here incarcerated in the jail. They're required to get up and work every day. We try to teach them a work ethic because being addicted to drugs, a lot of them have lost that. And we start trying to recondition them to basically respect authority. They may not like the person, but they should respect the position. And if they'll carry that with them into the community, it'll help them maintain jobs and become productive citizens and maybe give them a new respect for law enforcement overall. It feels good to finally see that for the first time in 20 years that you're making a difference in what you do.
It's going to be hard, and every day it's going to get harder. That little boy is worth it.
You know, you're also seeing a pretty substantial success rate of almost 75%, and we know how difficult it is for people to change their lives in this way. So what about the ones who don't make it? Why do you believe they fail?
That's the thing we try to get across to them. They really don't fail. They may fail out of our program, but an individual only fails when they quit trying. And that's what we try to get across to everybody who goes through our jail. You're only a failure when you quit trying. Because as long as you keep trying, you can always be a success story.
I wanted this to be a change for me this time. I want to change.
Chris, I can hear the passion in your voice when you talk about this program, but there has to have been one trustee that has been the most inspirational to you. Does somebody stand out?
Every family in the country has been affected by some form or fashion of drug addiction, and that's, I think, what makes this program so powerful. And I really hope that it helps break the stigma that's associated with it, where we can come to the table, have an honest conversation about it, and try to help people ask for help without embarrassment before their loved one becomes incarcerated.
Well, Chris, we appreciate you so much. You've resonated so much with us, our DBL community, and we appreciate the passion that you're meeting the moment with. You can watch the program Prison Detox streaming now on Discovery Plus. Chris, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you for having me.
We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
As extreme storms pound parts of the world and cause severe flooding, experts say the threat of climate change is growing more dire by the day.
Rising sea levels are a big part of it, threatening coastal communities across the globe.
In the U.S., many of those areas house critical military hubs. So let's verify. Do rising sea levels impact national security? Our sources, a Virginia state official, the director of a national security think tank, and a study by the Department of Defense.
Do rising sea levels impact national security? Well, of course they do.
John Conger heads the Center for Climate and Security. He points to the dozens of military installations along the U.S. coastline.
When rising sea levels impact that infrastructure, whether it's by flooding or storm surge, that impacts operations, it impacts readiness.
A 2019 report on climate change by the Department of Defense found 53 military installations are battling recurrent flooding, and that number is growing. Some face permanent inundation of property within decades.
If the base can't do its job, then it threatens national security.
Norfolk, Virginia is home to the world's largest naval station, which houses billions of dollars in assets. They're already dealing with nuisance flooding, and it'll only get worse, with Virginia's sea level expected to rise close to 5 feet by 2100.
And that's going to increase to a certain number of hours a day that you can't get access to the installation, because roads will flood.
That has a ripple effect. It might impact preparation long term.
Ann Phillips is the special assistant to the governor of Virginia for coastal adaptation and protection.
You might delay going to sea or being able to fly a mission or doing some sort of land training because of weather.
When you've got higher sea levels and you get a normal storm, then it has a bigger impact.
In 2018, Hurricane Michael pounded Tyndall Air Force Base in Florida, leaving behind billions of dollars of damage and a long recovery.
If another crisis were to happen at the same time that you're being impacted by the storm, whether it's during the storm or in the aftermath of it, your ability to respond it becomes more challenged.
The Department of Defense gives the military millions of dollars for resilience funding every year through their Readiness and Environmental Protection Integration Program. Congress has asked every military base to do its own resilience assessment and make a plan. Right now, Naval Station Norfolk is spending $43 million to raise the flood walls around their shipyard.
It's not just flooding here in the U.S. Rising waters pose security threats overseas as well.
In some countries, sea level rise could displace millions of people, destabilizing governments in the coming decades, leading to more conflict for the U.S. or humanitarian need overseas.
So we can verify, rising sea levels do threaten national security. With your Verify, I'm Gabe Cohen.
Welcome back to DBL. It's time for some sweet, sweet deals. Earlier, Steph showed me some amazing products at even better prices. Here's this week's DBL Deal Blast, presented by MorningSave.com. All right, what do you have for us today, Stephanie?
Hey, Tori. So first up, it's the Mihao Heated Shiatsu Foot Massager with a 1-year warranty.
Nice.
So normally it's as much as $130, but right now we've got it only for a $59, saving our viewers 55%. Now, Tori, I don't know about you, but I do know about a good night's rest, and it's an absolute must for me. And this Kathy Island 225 thread count Tencel polyfilled mattress topper is just the perfect way for that. So you can add another layer of comfort to your mattress with this plush mattress pad. So normally it's as much as $85 to $121, obviously depending on the size.
Sure.
But we've got it for only $29 to $49, which saves our viewers up to 66%. Now, it's the Ginsu 5-piece dishwasher safe Daku series kitchen knife set.
Nice.
Normally this set is as much as $50.
Okay, not bad, but actually, you know, a little pricey.
But we've got it for $24, Tori, saving our viewers 52%. And last but definitely not least, I've got something that's gonna level up your jewelry box. It's the Piatella Inside Out simulated diamond hoop earring.
Ooh.
So encircle both inside and out with these simulated diamonds. These earrings deliver big bling to your look. And come on, Tori, nothing makes a statement like a pair of hoops.
Facts.
And normally they're as much as $80.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's gonna be up there close to 100, I bet.
But guess what?
What?
They're only 15, saving up to 81%. Now that is a bargain and a half.
Head on over to morningsave.com to just snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices. You can even visit morningsave.com right on your smartphone. Thank you so much, Steph. So we love sharing your comments, and I just loved what Just Me wrote. He wrote this, or she. I don't know if Just Me is a he or she.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. Or non-binary. I think disinformation functions similarly to a virus. It starts with one person, it spreads to others, creates virtual social media community outbreaks, and infects and harms the body of society. I thought that was really beautifully said. I also just want to reach out to Cheryl. She and I have been going back and forth debating the vaccine, and after watching our show and Dr. Coley and talking to her doctor, she realized she will get the shot, and so she did. I'm only saying that to people who don't have a medical exemption, of course, and she and I had a very civil debate. She sent me articles.
Civil debates are so boring. Bring it, Cheryl. Let's go.
Bring it, Cheryl.
I'm so happy. That's great.
And if you have questions, please write us in. We'll try and get, Dr. Coley wrote her in, so we really are trying to listen and not have an attitude of we're not hearing you. We just want people to stay safe in this society. Don't you agree?
I completely agree. I'm really happy. And it's like, I think that's one thing that can, as you're an adult, you kind of lose the ability to kind of say, hey, I might want to reevaluate. When you're younger, you're better at taking in information. But I would like to be like, you know what, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's okay to evolve.
Yes.
You know, even if, and this evolution happens very quickly as we get new information, but I think some people are like, well, no, this is where I was, you know, a year ago. And if you are where you were a year ago, then the evolution never happens. It's okay to be like, I changed my mind.
It's okay to grow, everyone. DBL's new every day. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Thanks, guys.